today's class, I will discuss how to find enthalpy of a moist air and how to do cooling and heating load calculation. You know that in air conditioning, heating or cooling load has two parts. One is sensible heat part and other one is latent heat part. In sensible heat part, moisture content or humidity ratio remains constant, only temperature changes, and in the latent heat part, the temperature remains constant, only the moisture content or humidity ratio changes, and the summation of sensible heat and latent heat is the total heat or the total cooling load. Now what happens, many times psychrometric chart is not available and we need to find properties of moist air by calculation, and most important property is enthalpy. So I will explain in this class how to find enthalpy of a moist air sample using calculations analytically without using psychrometric chart, and you get the precise value of cooling or heating load. So let us come to this image. You can see this is a psychrometric chart plot where a process is taking place from state 1 to 2. We can split this into two parts, from 1 to 0 as latent heat part and 0 to 2 as sensible heat part. So obviously the total heat Q is summation of Qs plus Ql. In air conditioning you have moist air, and moist air is not dry air. Moist air is a mixture of dry air plus water vapor. So what happens, water vapor part keeps on varying depending on the relative humidity or the addition or removal of the moisture, but the dry air part remains constant. So what we do in air conditioning, we do all the calculations on the basis of per kg dry air. So all calculations are done per kg of dry air basis, and we know humidity ratio omega is mass of water vapor to the mass of dry air in a given sample. So that means omega is nothing but mass of water vapor associated with per kg or 1 kg of dry air. So suppose we are trying to find out how much is the enthalpy, then on per kg basis Q is equal to Qs or let me make it more clear. Enthalpy of moist air, it has two components. One is enthalpy of dry air, and then you have to add the enthalpy of water vapor part. So then we write H into H water vapor. So this is the total enthalpy of dry air. But now all calculations are done on per kg basis. This is written as kilojoule per kg of dry air. All the psychrometric chart values that we get is on the basis of per kg dry air. So this equation has some error, and what is that error? You must here add how much is the water vapor part per kg of dry air. So we write omega here. So that means this is the total enthalpy of a moist air sample in kilojoule per kg of dry air. Now what is enthalpy of dry air part? It is very simple. MCPT. MCPA means specific heat at constant pressure for air. Now here I write T because in air conditioning the reference state is 0 degree centigrade. In air conditioning the reference state is 0 degree centigrade. That means at this value of temperature enthalpy is 0. So whenever I just multiply by a temperature, this reflects enthalpy change from state 0 degree to the actual state of the dry air. So this is the very simple thing. Here MA is nothing but M is nothing but MA, which is mass flow rate of dry air. And we know what is the enthalpy of, CP of dry air. CP of dry air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg degree centigrade into T. So this expression is used for finding enthalpy of dry air part. Now we come to the enthalpy of water vapor part. So water vapor part enthalpy is, see, 0 degree water is the reference point. So first water has to be evaporated to the saturated state, and then from 0 degree to the actual temperature T, where it is in its superheated state. So we must first find how much is the latent heat needed for the conversion from liquid state to the vapor state, and then how much heat is needed for the superheating. So that will finally give enthalpy at A. Now I have shown 3 points A, B and C, and all are having same temperature. All are having same temperature because we are talking about TS diagram. So what is the difference between enthalpy at A, B, C? In the air conditioning, we assume that moist air behaves as a perfect gas, and for a perfect gas, enthalpy H is a function of temperature only. So that means enthalpy at A, enthalpy at B and enthalpy at C will be different, and you can find in for A, B and C, and you will see the results are the same. For finding enthalpy at B, you have to find out what is the temperature here, TB, find out latent heat corresponding to this temperature, add the saturation pressure corresponding to this temperature, and add superheat from TB to the actual temperature T. Similarly, for this state, you just have to find what is the saturation enthalpy here. So that means water has to be heated from this state to this state in a liquid state, and then enthalpy of evaporation, and that will be corresponding to temperature Tc, and the saturation pressure corresponding to temperature Tc. So all will give the same value. So if we use B or C or any other method, the latent heat part is not fixed. So as a reference, the 0 degree state is used as a customary, and from 0 degree to T, difference is very easy, just T minus 0 is T. So that is how enthalpy of water vapor part is calculated. So water vapor part is mass of water vapor, then you have first latent heat part, which is kilojoule per kg. So we write HFGO means 0 degree centigrade. HFG means liquid state to gas state. This is the way we find this value from the steam tables. Plus specific heat of water vapor. Specific heat of water vapor. And temperature here, reference state is 0. So T minus 0 is simply T. Now at 0 degree centigrade, we know that enthalpy is 2500 kilojoule per kg. This is fixed value. And Cp of water vapor for the standard air, in air conditioning we use properties of moist air at standard air, and the standard air is considered 20 degree centigrade and 50% RH. So in entire air conditioning range, properties like density, specific volume are referred to this state, and we get very precise calculation values or values of the properties. So CPV is 1.86 into T. Now we need to find what is MWV. MW is nothing but, as I wrote here, specific heat multiplied by mass of dry air, because we do all the calculations per kg of dry air basis. So we write here omega times mass of dry air 2500 plus 1.86 T. So now we have enthalpy of water vapor part, we have enthalpy of dry air part, and we add. I think I remove this so that we have space. So finally our enthalpy of moist air sample is mass of dry air into 1.005, or we just first write the expression and then write the values. So CPA into T plus omega times in bracket 2500 plus Cp water vapor T. So this is our final expression. Now by definition we know the sensible heat involves temperature change only, and latent heat involves change in the humidity content. So what we do is we separate the terms. So we separate the sensible heat part where temperature change is involved. So we can write this as mass of airflow into Cpa plus omega Cp of water, this term and this term, and both are multiplied by T. So this is the sensible heat part of the enthalpy plus mass of air flow rate into HFGO into omega. So this is our expression for enthalpy of a moist air sample. Now we can simplify this expression. CPA is 1.0005 kilojoule per kg, and Cp, sorry, I just write Cp water vapor. Cp water vapor is 1.86 kilojoule per kg. In actual practice, the value of omega is very small compared to 1. It is of the order of say 0.001 or something like that kg per kg. That means 1 gram of water vapor per kg of dry air. So this value, this term is usually very small, and this together is called humid specific heat. There is a new term which is humid specific heat. Humid specific heat CPH, and this is the summation of CPA plus omega Cp water vapor. And if we consider standard air, for that the Cp humid air is 1.0216 kilojoule per kg, and HFGO we already know is 2500 kilojoule per kg. So we use these values and we get a much simplified expression, and we can use that expression for finding out enthalpy and heating and cooling load. So finally our expression is H is equal to mass flow rate into 1.0216 into T. This is sensible heat part, or we call it HS part, plus we write mass flow rate into 2500 into omega. This is latent heat part. Now suppose you want to find how much is the QS. So QS, then QS is equal to mass flow rate into H1 minus H2. See, actually I should have written capital H because there is a customary. Capital H means kilojoule and small h means kilojoule per kg. So if mass flow rate is not there, it is small h. So we can write like this without mass flow rate. So our sensible heat load is H1 is 1.0216 into T1 minus 1.0216 T2. So mass flow rate into 1.0216 into delta T is our sensible heat load. Similarly, we can find latent heat load, QL. QL is again mass flow rate into enthalpy at 1 minus 2, and this mass flow rate of dry air, and this is equal to 2500 is there into omega 1 minus omega 2. So mass flow rate into 2500 into delta omega. So these are the two expressions where we can find sensible heat cooling load and latent heat cooling load without use of psychrometric chart. Just we need to have delta T2 known and delta omega known. If these two values are known, we can straight away we do calculations and we can find what is latent heat and what is sensible heat. I can simplify this relation further. I'll take a couple of more minutes. In air conditioning, normally mass flow is not mentioned, but I think the time is short. That part I will discuss in the next class. I hope everything is clear to you. Thank you.